Aries, you guys are killing me right now. Let's all just take a deep breath. I know you're not stressed out. You just got here. You don't know what I have been going through. You don't know what has happened before this. Maybe I'll do a dramatic reenactment of it or something like that. But basically, we've been here before. I've had a whole intro with you guys. I got halfway through a reading for Aries and realized that somehow it was not being recorded. Aries. It was good too, you guys. It was good. And I don't know what to do. I'm torn about what to do because part of me wants to bet the house and I'm just going to do the reading again. I put all the cards back. I know. I feel like some of you are going to be so mad, but I put all the cards back into the deck and I shuffled them, and I'm going to shuffle some more while I'm on camera because I just want to see if the same energy and the same group of you shows up and the similar cards come out. Like, I feel like based on how that reading was, this seems cruel to even say it this way because you didn't get to hear it or see it. But for me, as a reader, based on the energy of that particular reading that I did, if that stuff were true, then I would feel like technology issues wouldn't get in the way of that energy and that connection coming through again. So I'm sorry. I know I probably seem frazzled and I haven't even said hello. You guys are just, Aries, please, let's just cooperate and get through this October reading. I get it. I feel like I'm in the same vibe, the same energy of the people from the first reading. So I'm going to start there. But first, I'm going to say hello. My name is Keaghan. If you are returning and you've watched my videos before, then you know that this is not unusual, that sometimes I get very much into the energy of you guys. And if you're new here, I'm sorry this is your first impression of me. I will try to do better next time. Okay. I just can't believe that whole reading just didn't get recorded. All right, Aries, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a quick summary. I felt like for the people I was connecting with, I just picked up this it felt very casual sex. We'll start there. Being out, meeting people, having fun, physical, sexual fun, not really having a lot of emotion in it, not really having a lot of feelings attached. Underlying that was a huge breakup of a relationship that had felt very important in your life. That had really sort of put you into a headspace of being extremely guarded and very emotionally detached. And being in a mind space of, if that person comes back or if I find something that was better than them, then I'll be willing to risk feeling again. So you can see how going from casual, sexy fun time into that heavy energy was a very interesting reading. And I do apologize that you did not get to see it. But if nothing else, I feel like it took me very deeply into your energy. It was almost like a pre-shuffle meditation that just went on for half an hour. It was a full reading. I can't believe it didn't record. But anyway, Aries, for whoever I've not lost, because I know my energy is very chaotic right now, I'm going to switch you guys over to this camera. Like, realizing that I had not been recording all of that stuff, it felt like forgetting that you had a homework assignment and then the teacher asking for it. Like, I was so not okay with it. But let's see what comes out. So like I said, I did shuffle these cards before coming on to film, but I just want to mix them up. Mostly just for my own benefit, because I really would love to see that story tell itself again. So I really want to try to just eliminate any sort of possibility of those cards just popping out because the cards are still together in the deck or anything like that. I will tell you if the same cards come out. So let me name some of the cards that came out in the other reading, so that you guys can hear them and maybe like keep track with me. So you had the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups in the other reading. Temperance was on its side. You had the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and you were in a Knight of Wands reversed type of energy. Those were the main, like the main big cards that you had. But if any of those cards come out again, I'll probably have like really excitable energy in this video. I would love to see those cards come out again for you guys. I do feel like I am connecting with the same group of you, which is also pretty interesting for me. So, yeah, these feel good. I'm going to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles here, coming out upright. This actually does feel money and financial related, and I normally don't read Pentacles in that way. For some of you, for some of you listening, this could represent an offer that is a very solid offer that has an actual foundation to it. But for a lot of you, actually, what I'm getting is that this is just something to do with your actual career. So either a new opportunity that might be presenting itself to you soon, if you are currently in consideration for a promotion, or especially I feel for some reason around this I'm getting a relocation. This would just be a card speaking to you that seems to be likely turning out in your favor. But I don't really get a lot of yeah, here we go. It's you guys again. I know it is, because this is exactly, yeah. These cards I don't think were actually in your other reading, but they summarize it pretty well. Yeah, I don't feel you guys necessarily, this Ace of Pentacles, it feels very focused on your money, focused on your career, and things you can do there, and any sort of like connection to like a deep commitment, a deep type of relationship. I don't sense that at all here. That was also very similar from the first reading. Let's talk about this. Five of Swords. This is coming out upright. Underneath this, sort of at the root, the base of this is the Three of Cups, and it is reversed. So this would most likely speak to a third-party situation. I feel very much a fair cheating type of a vibe here. This would be the Tower. You had the Tower also in the other reading, upright, and I think this is that Tower moment, which I actually did not get very much insight in the other reading into what that Tower moment was. I'm going to be referring to that reading just because it's so fresh in my mind, and I know you guys didn't see it, and so I'm not trying to be confusing when I say that was the Tower moment and there's not a tower here. I did an entirely different reading for you guys, and I just feel like as much as I can remember about that reading to mention, because so much came through, I want to try to manage that as well. And I think I'm pretty sure that I captured a screenshot of the spread, so I might just throw that up down here maybe so you guys can take a look, just so you can see the cards that were there. But this, I think, is that Tower moment. I feel like there was a committed relationship. Someone on one side or the other, what did involve another person. That was a Tower moment. So I feel like all that's known, all of that's in the clear. If it's a suspicion that you have, this might just be serving as, some guidance for you in terms of whether those suspicions are grounded or not. Yeah, and this Ace of Pentacles, for me, the King of Wands reversed, that I was talking about, I feel like this is the accompanying part of that. It's like you're out, you're having fun, it's all casual, it's non-committal, it's not wanting to have anything deep, not wanting to have anything that has like that weight of seriousness to it. So I do feel like I am back into the same group of you. So I just want to shuffle through and see what wants to come out with this deck. So I feel like I'm back into the vibe for sure. And like I said, that reading for me was just really getting it. You see, you have the Five of Cups coming out next to the Five of Swords. This Five of Cups is reversed. Yeah, this is and the Six of Swords reversed underneath that. Yeah, this is you guys. Okay, so let's start here. So this Six of Swords reversed, for me, this is absolutely the card that speaks to having unfinished business with someone, not wanting to let something come to an end, not wanting to be done with it. Okay. The Five of Cups, when it's reversed, is about moving on. This vibe is also something that was in the other reading of wanting to just be done with this, wanting to move on from this and get space from it and be very detached from any sort of deep emotional connection, but also being completely and totally still connected emotionally to someone. Very emotionally connected to it. And also the emotional pain of this situation still being very intense. Okay? And trying to like play this game with yourself, Aries, of I don't need love. I don't care about love. I'm just going to have lots of sex and casual things and I don't need to have a connection. Well, that's the thing. Aries really do truly at their core require love as part of their connections. And so that game that you're trying to play, it's not going to work because ultimately that emotional connection to it, you're unable to deny that. You're unable to. Aries, you realize that if you're going to move forward, you have to heal this, which means you have to feel this stuff. And if you're going to try again with this person, you also have to heal this. And so you're in a space where you're realizing, okay, I'm not letting this go. I can't disconnect myself from this. So at some point, I'm going to have to face it. I'm going to have to face what happened. And that's also a similar vibe from that first reading. Okay. So let's take a look. I just want to take a look at these two people because I feel like we're absolutely tapped into a specific relationship. And I want to look at the two people, Aries and the other person. I just want to see what cards want to come out. I'm going to shuffle this once, I heard, and then just freehand shuffle. Show me insight information into the connection between Aries and this other person. Show me details, insight, information. I have the Queen of Pentacles here. The Chariot reversed. Let's see if anything else wants to come out here. Okay, well, here are two people. So Aries, it's interesting. I'm actually being drawn here for energy for you. This is the King of Swords. It came out on its side. And this feels very much like where I sent you. It's almost like you're going back and forth is what it feels like to me. You're kind of going in and out of being this king. And I think part of that is in how much you are sharing with people, how much truth you're telling other people about this situation. That's part of it. I think sometimes you're willing to be very honest about it, and I think when that happens, when you're willing to speak the truth about it, it's when you yourself have gotten insight and clarity into some aspect of it, and you feel like you can actually talk about it and have it make sense. And then there are other times where you just very much are focused on being inside of yourself, figuring out what is true for you as a person, what feels true and what feels right. I don't sense any sort of vibe here with this king being reversed around manipulation. I normally would pick that up energetically. I don't feel that. It just feels very much like you have to be inside of yourself a little bit in order to then go turn outward and interact with people and bring other people in into what you're feeling, and what's going on. I feel like Aries, I feel like for most of you, that's what's going to resonate. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so the energies can be reversed. Don't get caught up on genders. So if you're a cross-watcher, know that this could, it could be vice versa, as I'm talking about things, because this is general and I'm reading for lots of people right now. So, if this doesn't resonate with the Aries who's listening to me, know that I'm talking about that is the energy of the other person in your life. Now, for me, reading, I'm going to associate this with Aries energy, though, because this Queen of Pentacles here, it's interesting. It feels like this other person, Aries, they're actually someone who they want to make this work. They want to have this relationship be something that has some momentum. This Chariot being reversed, I'm just sort of seeing that as like it's not going anywhere right now. Like it's blocked. It's like there's not a lot of like, you can see this king is looking away from this. And this queen is just sort of focused inward, centered, stable, solid. But there's no action between these. And I think, Aries, it's because of this vibe, this energy, whether you think this is you or the other person, until some truth is spoken about this, that this is what has this Chariot not moving, is this stuck energy here. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies the players in this story. Let me switch over to my Rider-Waite deck and see what wants to come out. We do have the Ace of Wands, which had flipped over, but I'm just going to stick that back in there. But that would be the second ace to show itself. And again, that was also something in that first reading. There was this push of like a new offer, a new start to something, but it required closing out some pretty heavy emotional stuff, which I'm going to use just this Chariot. I feel like that closing out, the action that needs to be taken right now that's not happening, I want to actually just get some insight into that, in terms of what that Chariot, what those things are that are just right now not being focused on, not having the breakthrough on it. Clarify the Chariot in reverse for Aries, October 2019. Clarify the Chariot for Aries, October 2019. One flip. Didn't you? Oh my gosh, I could have sworn one flipped. I guess not. Okay, let me go through one more time. One definitely wanted to come out. It's not the right deck. Okay. Yeah. King of Cups, upright. So Aries, this is so interesting. This is so similar to the other reading. It's just slightly different cards are telling the same story here. I think I've already mentioned it in this reading as well, but just in case I haven't, I'm going to talk about this a little bit. So Aries, this vibe that I was getting of sort of like very casual, no heavy emotions, just out there playing the field, having fun, just that disconnected energy. It also is like you have to get to the point of realizing how important love and emotions are to you. Because in order to avoid this pain about this betrayal and this heartbreak, and manage to keep yourself sort of going back and forth between these two opposite things about, do I just give up on this, or do I, like, what do I need to do? Because I feel stuck. There's no movement. I can't walk away from this person, but I don't feel like I can also come in. The thing that helps you to shift that is remembering how important love and feelings are to you in your connections. I think for Aries, sometimes it's easy to detach out of that temporarily and just get really caught up in the physical stuff, the fun stuff, and that be enough for a little bit. But eventually, you have to be honest with yourself. You can't, you don't really engage and enjoy things unless there is an emotional connecting point, unless there are feelings that ultimately do start to get involved. Because if there are no feelings, that's why you're able to keep things casual, because they don't hold your interest. So eventually for Aries, because of the passion behind the signs, they have to be engaged and interested again. And the thing that engages an Aries is pursuing this person, having something that goes deeper with the same person, getting to know a person more deeply, having deeper and more varied experiences with that person, right? Like that is very Aries energy. So you have to add in the King of Cups back into that King of Wands that was from the first reading. Like you have to be the marriage of those two energies, of being able to be very, very passionate and very sexual and very engaged physically with someone, and also manage to meet them on a very emotionally connected level. That's one of the really awesome things about the sign of Aries, in my opinion, is their ability to do that. But right now you've cut the emotion out of it. So you're like, in a way, you're only bringing 50% of yourself to the table, because you've turned off all the like passionate emotional aspect of it. And you've blocked those parts of yourself. So that's why it doesn't stay fulfilling, and it doesn't feel like it is something that you can really continue with, I don't feel, for very much longer, because eventually I think you're going to want to try to get movement with whoever this other person was. So I want to take a look at that Queen of Pentacles, actually, see what wants to come out to clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this queen here, we have the Seven of Cups coming out. So I want to get one card just to clarify here before I think we have. Oh, and it's so interesting. The cards are just flipping inside the deck; they're not wanting to come out. So I feel like this is maybe like an area where you don't necessarily want me to explore, but you know I'm going to. I have to. So earlier, I just want to say when I was actually going through, as cards were coming out here, the Hierophant reverse almost wanted to come out from this deck. It did come out again out of this deck, so I just want to highlight that I decided not to take it the first time, but it came out. And yeah, this is interesting to me, this other person. So Aries, I just feel like, okay, bare minimum, what I think here is that you think at least this person has a lot of options available to them. That may or may not be true, and that has nothing to do with like whether they're a like a quality person, okay? But what I feel, Aries, is that you perceive this person has a lot of people who are actively wanting to be involved with them, and you might actually be able to point to like say, well, yeah, they have all these people who are trying to talk to them. They have all these people that they're hanging out with. But remember what I was saying at the beginning. It's like, Aries, you yourself and this energy, and again, this could be reversed, right? But if you're just in a situation where everything's casual and you're not clicking with anyone, you're not allowing yourself to care for anyone, do you really have lots of options? It depends on what you're looking for, right? So I think there is something here, Aries, that I just want to reference, that sometimes this card can represent illusion or wishful thinking about a situation. The two cards that came out as clarifiers when I wanted clarity on this, you have the Knight of Swords reversed with a Hierophant reversed, and this is really, really interesting because this Knight for me is all about a restless type of energy and not really being able to be settled, being very unfocused and impulsive, wanting to almost have like a reckless type of vibe to it. And the Hierophant reversed here speaks to a situation where you're really going against pushing your own personal beliefs, redefining those, figuring out what those are, or really pushing against society at itself and the sort of the status quo and what's acceptable. So with these two things going together, it just feels like it Aries, what I feel here is what I've been doing isn't working. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being stuck, right? Like I want this chariot to move, but I'm not ready to open my feelings up yet. This is so similar to that first reading. So I'm really happy that I found you guys again energetically, because I'm getting to tell you guys the same things basically that I did with that first reading. And that's good, because it's the same thing, Aries. It's like the key to getting yourself out of this stuck energy around this other person is, first of all, by getting to a point where you feel like you can speak honestly and you can speak truthfully and directly about it, and also come at it with an openness and having your feelings and your emotions part of that truth. Like, part of how you get to this place of having mental clarity and understanding about this is by allowing yourself to feel what you really feel and process your emotions and think about them. But you also have to feel them and get them out. You have to actually allow those feelings to come out and face what they are and what they aren't. That's what I heard. Like, face the truth of the feelings. One more time. Let's see how far we are in recording here. Okay, yeah, we can go a little bit longer. I'm trying to keep these not super long. We can poke around a little bit more. I just want to say here, do you see the 9 of Cups as I opened it? You did have that 10 of Cups that was in the other reading. That's why I want to reference that. I feel like you could be just right on the edge of realizing what potential does exist, whether it is someone from the past or someone new that comes in. I just feel like, Aries, you have a choice to make about when you re-engage your feelings and emotions, and you stop just wanting to sort of avoid dealing with this initial wound. That's totally up to you, but just know that as long as you have your emotions cut off, you could be missing signals. You could be missing things that aren't necessarily apparent to you, um, about how you could begin to move forward towards something that could be a very strong, solid relationship. Okay, I just feel like I needed to explain that a little bit. Again, that's pulling some stuff from that first reading as well. Just because, like I think I mentioned, you had the 10 of Cups, you had the 2 of Cups, but there was energy blocking being able to step into that. And it was related to the pain of the past, that Tower moment, that other reading. Let's see one more time. Okay. Aries, you don't have to get mad at me. I feel like this card is reversed, just energetically. I'm going to put it reversed. You have the 3 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles coming out here. For me, Aries, this just feels like you just want to be by yourself right now. You don't want to think about this pain. You have the 5 of Cups reversed here. You have the the 6 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, 555. I do feel, because you have this 5 of Swords progression moving forward, I do feel like you're going to break out of this. And like I said, you get to choose how long you're on your own before you process your feelings about what happened. That is up to you 100%. But at some point, you do have to process it. You have to deal with it. You have to figure out what your next step is. And so my word of advice to you is to not spend as little time as possible stuck in dealing with the past, and realize that anything that could exist with this person or another person, that's ahead of you. And so you have to start moving forward in order to connect to those possibilities in which you do reunite with this person, or someone new comes in that heals the pain of this lost relationship and makes a connection with you that feels even more intense and deeper. Let's see if anything else wants to come out from the Mystic Monday deck. way too many cards. Okay, I get it. I get it. You have the Ten of Swords, a very painful ending. I get it. You still feel a lot of pain. Four of Cups reversed. You're checked out. You are pulled away. You're not engaging. I get it. Like, I'm not trying to Aries, I'm not trying to force you to move faster than you want to. I just want to see, like, if I get any additional just advice, guidance, anything else wants to come out here from this deck. We just have one card that fell. Ooh, Aries. Why would you do that to me? Aries. This is like a weird plot twist to a movie. This is like one of my least favorite cards ever. The Magician reversed. I don't like it as a reader because this is the card that represents a situation in which someone is playing games. It came out with the Nine of Cups, which is upright. And this is the Wish Come True card. Aries, what the hell? These do not make sense together. What your wish, your dream come true is to be involved with like a game playing manipulator? I don't even know what to do here. Aries, I don't know what I did to make you guys angry with me, but like this is a lot just to get this one reading out to you guys, and then to get me here after I feel like I've been encouraging you to give this person another chance. I mean, I'll be honest, between the two readings, getting some cards here that have come out, I'm like, yeah, you know, heal it and see what happens. But then you get the Magician. I'm going to clarify this Magician. Clarify the Magician in reverse for Aries. There's going to be some amazing cards to clarify to get me to change my opinion about the Magician in reverse. Okay. The King of Cups, seriously? And the Nine of Swords reversed. Ugh. Where is it? Okay. King of Cups, King of Cups. In terms of clarifying this Magician, reversed. And then you have the Nine of Cups with the Nine of Swords. This card reversed for me is actually not bad. Because for me, I think it is about being in a space where you're facing your dark fears. You really have turned inward, and you're starting to process through all the inner conflict that you might have. It's about releasing worry, uncovering secrets, getting to the heart of things. So this is not a bad card, and it's underneath this Nine of Cups, which is upright, which is like the dream come true card. So I'm just gonna say this Magician for me. I feel like if I said I don't get that sort of trickster manipulator vibe off of this, I wouldn't be telling the truth. With that said, Aries, I feel like maybe you like that because you have the King of Cups coming out twice as just this confirmation. No, I love that. Maybe because of this Hierophant reversed, right? Like maybe for some people, they would look at this connection and be like, it's so dramatic, it's so intense, it's so crazy. The two of you are like always, playing games with each other. But maybe for you and this other person, like the Hierophant reverse is about something that doesn't make sense in terms of traditional like evaluation of it. I always put in the disclaimer here that like there are such things. There, toxic relationships, abusive relationships are actual real things that exist. I feel that it is up to the people inside of those relationships to determine the dynamic of how they define things. So, if you are feeling fear, legitimate fear for your physical safety with a partner, and you're not okay with feeling that, then that is a sign of something that's toxic. And I want to be very clear that when I talk about this, it would be more like a very dramatic, very possessive, very jealous, very reactive, very volatile, very combative, lots of fighting and arguing, really intense, passionate sex. Everything would be a 10 in this relationship. Everything would be cranked up all the way. But maybe you like that. Maybe you like that you don't really know if you can trust them 100% because it's triggering that part of Aries that wants to like figure somebody out and get to know someone and see all of their Aries and Scorpio actually have like a similar vibe in that they get both signs get very focused on learning things about the person that no one else knows. And those are normally the things that the person is the most guarded about. We know that in those situations, they probably have not told many people those stories or that pain. They haven't shared that pain. And so Aries and Scorpio, both as signs, are very drawn to learning those things about people. So someone who is a little bit, you know, magician reversed energy, maybe that's exactly what you need. I'm not going to let my opinion of this card override the King of Cups coming out twice with the Nine of Cups. You had the Ten of Cups in the other reading with the Two of Cups. I'm not gonna override all that just to be like about this person. I think, hey, you know what? If you know who they are, if you know who this person is and you see them this way, here's how I'll say this. I feel like these two kings are coming out as confirmation of I love this person as they are. Now, if you see this person as they are and you know they play games, you know that they can sometimes be emotionally manipulative, you know that they're very dramatic, you know that they, I feel like this is the type of person that will just like, blow up huge, big like fights with this person. Okay. But if you know that and you choose to be with this person and you make that adult decision to be with this person and you're doing it because you really do love them and there's something about it that you like, I'm not here to judge your relationship. That's on you. That's just what I'm saying over here is that energetically I've been saying from the very start of the first reading that did not record that I sensed this was something that you should give another chance to. So this is an interesting situation for me. I don't really know when to stop in these situations. I have a deck here. I'm just going to shuffle it a couple of times and see if anything wants to come out. I'm going to go through one free shuffle with it. One more shuffle. See if anything else wants to come out regarding this Magician in reverse. Specifically, energy around the Magician reversed. Well, I'm going to have to fetch that card because it flew behind me. Why do I feel like this is that Magician reversed energy? Aries, is that you? Are you connecting with that? I'm going to put this card on the table as I was looking at it when I picked it up. Okay, let's see what came out here. Justice reversed, the Queen of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Ace of Pentacles here, upright. Yeah. So Aries, I think this is just sort of wrapping this up. This is a situation in which, regarding this Magician, the energy that you have coming out here is one about there being dishonesty, someone not having their, to pay for what they did or to suffer consequences for what they did, sort of getting away with it. I feel like maybe I should reference that this card does represent the sign of Libra. I don't normally mention that connection, but for some reason I feel Libra might be important for some people who are listening. You have the Queen of Wands here. It is upright. Aries, this is a card that represents you, the sign. I feel that what this is saying is before Aries, you can be yourself, which again is what I'm saying is that passion with this King of Cups, right? The Queen of Wands is very much that very passionate, emotional, sexual, physical, really firing on all engines in terms of their connections. In order for you to get back to that, you have to figure out justice around this magician that I feel like you still care about and that you still want to be with. But right now, this Ace of Pentacles, it's that turned off energy. What I was saying earlier, where like you're not. This is about you. It feels like this is about my money, my own financial stuff, my own new opportunities. But I'm not seeing it as some offer for stability. But here, where it's coming out in the context of this magician and this past pain and this love that exists, this does represent you being cut off from this magician. There's literally this is what's separating you here from this magician. And it's because you don't feel like you have gotten to a point where you have justice on that stuff from, what they did. Like, it's almost like you don't know how to forgive them yet. And so you have the 9 of Swords reversed here. This 10 of Swords is something that you're still trying to get through this. You're still trying to get through it. You have a lot of heavy stuff around this person, right? Lots of heavy stuff around this person. And I think, I just want to say again, you might feel like this person has either moved on with someone else or that this person is really out there sort of playing the field like you are. But I feel like this person is very centered, very focused on you, Aries. They're waiting for you to make a move to see what you do next. And that was also part of that first reading, that in order to move into that new potential, it required you, Aries, to tap back into your feelings and your emotions and how deep they are. And yes, doing that will cause you to have to process some pain initially. But once you've done that, once you've processed the pain, then you're back into your Queen of Wands vibe, because you've reconnected all of that passion and sensuality and sexuality. You've reconnected it to your emotions and your feelings in a way that's very Aries energy. Okay. Hopefully this has made sense. This has been very bizarre for me as a reader because I feel like I panicked and I wanted to force myself to connect to the same group of you guys. And then that just created like anxiety and pressure for me. So, Aries, if this resonated with you, please take a moment to put a comment. Let me know. I feel like I fought really hard for you guys to make sure that this reading found you. So I'm looking forward to figuring out who you are, seeing you say hello in the comments. I hope that this makes sense. I'm going to try to remember a couple of things, like putting up the little, I think I do have a picture of the spread from before, from the first reading, first recording that didn't actually record. I'm still so bummed about that, but I feel like it was the same core message that was coming through. So I'm just gonna give myself a break and hope that it makes sense. If not, you'll get another reading soon for November. So I'll hope the technology bugs are gone by then. Aries, I love you guys. I hope that you are doing well. Give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, take a moment to subscribe. Also, I will put some videos up on either side of my head here, so you can just click through in case you have more questions, because maybe you do after a reading like that. So just go ahead and click, and I'll see you over there for that reading.